I'm excited. Let's go. Come on. What's going on, everybody? This is Lester from Cannabis Wiki. We're at the 2019 CanEx Business Conference and Expo. We are here in the Rastafari Indigenous Village. My friend? Blessed love, Rastaman. So tell us, what's going on here today?
Well, in this space, we have a Rastafari cultural display from the Rastafari Indigenous Village, located in Portobello, Montego Bay, St. James.
Okay.
You know, so what we have here are just what we produce in this space, just going about our daily lives. You know, so the space is actually a space set up to preserve the culture of Rastafari. So we have what we call preservation stations located in this space. And each station, there is a Rastafari with a specific skill set that has been applied by Rastafari for over 80, going to 100 years now. So there are specific days of the week that we invite the public in to teach them about the culture of Rastafari.
So what would be one of these areas?
For instance, I specifically one of 3 persons in charge of the farm producing oils from the cannabis plant. Okay. So on this display, you can see over here we have some instruments used by the Rastafari community to experience the herbs. We have the steam chalice, the bun chalice, and then we have maracas made from calabash. We have some herbs here produced by the community, CBD, those are high in CBD, some herbs high in THC. And as I said before, over here we have some oils that are infused, ganja infused in cold pressed coconut oil.
Okay, so let's talk about the chalice.
Yes,
I know that's a focal standout point for Rastafari.
Yes, I agree. So the steam chalice is the instrument that would probably most preserve the medicinal properties of the herbs, because the fire source doesn't interact directly with the herbs. So this is called a kochi. So what we do, we load the kochi with buds, put it in this chamber. Then this, which is called a gritty, is placed on top. So the fire source would go on here, whether it is coals, you know, charcoal or coal made from coconut shell.
Okay.
And we would light that. This instrument, we would remove this part. Water would go inside here and you fill it up to about here.
Okay.
Put it back in. This goes on top. Your fire source in. And once that gets going, then you hold it like this and just pull. So the heat from the fire goes through the chamber, goes through the herbs, that goes through the water, which removes all the impurities. And then, but there is no smoke at all.
So this comes from how long?
Well, Rastafari has been using this instrument for, as I say, you know, these instruments have been around for probably, this one in particular, probably close to about 50 years now. But this one was the first, the bun chalice. Now the difference is both instruments use water.
Okay.
But the difference is the herbs would go directly into this chamber and you would light the herbs. So this is like a clean split, no paper, and the water removes the impurities.
Okay. It's a long time I've heard about chalice, but this is the first in-depth explanation I've had with chalice. So I love the knowledge. You gotta love the knowledge. I like the fact that the fire doesn't actually touch the herb itself.
Yes, sir.
So clean. So what else we got? What's this apparatus here?
This is a distillation set. So we would use this to extract herbs, not only ganja, but also basil, mints, you know, different type of herbs with different type of aromas and therapeutic benefits,
right?
You know, for the community. So this is where you would put the solvent. So for instance, if we are doing an extraction of basil, we would use alcohol. So the alcohol would go into this glass jar. Then there is another round glass jar that goes on top of this. It's called a bioflask. So that's where you put the plant material. Then the condenser, which is this piece, sits on top of the bioflask. And this is the heat source. So once the heat gets going and the alcohol starts steaming, it goes up through the plant material, removes all the essences, which goes through these tubes. These hoses provide a cold water source so that the steam can condense. There's another piece that's attached to here that would go into this funnel. So it condenses, goes into here, and then you would just leak off the fluid into something else from here.
Wow. So it's an all-in-one extraction.
Yes, my brethren. Yes, my brethren.
This is enlightening.
Yes, sir.
I find that the people need to know more about roots and the culture of cannabis ganja.
It is true. It is very true. And I am happy that Rastafari has been leading the charge, for close to 100 years, in saying that the plant is true.
Right.
And we are happy that the world is now getting civilized to know that you can't criminalize a plant, So I give thanks for that.
Well, we give thanks for the Rastafari for pounding that way for everybody else to enjoy cannabis.
Blessed love.
And now that I believe everybody is starting to educate themselves about the healing benefits of cannabis, which has been involved in the Rastafari from time.
From those times until this time.
Right.
Yes, Rasta.
Right.
So we also do a cultural event the last Sunday of every month. It's called IRITS, where we harmonize food, music, indigenous producers with their wares. We have instructive art, healers coming through, doing yoga, and you'd also get a chance to see our farm.
That would be excellent.
Yes, sir.
So how big is the farm?
At this present space, the Rastafari Indigenous Village, it's a little less than a quarter acre.
Okay.
And what we practice is a technique that's likened to permaculture. But we take all the indigenous knowledge that we have into consideration. For instance, before farming a space, the first thing we do is we see the type of insects that are in the space, the beneficial plants, and what we need to add to that space to invite insects that would want to eat our plants.
Right.
Invite the insects that eat the insects that eat our plants.
Yes.
So we would clear out that space, remove all the plants that we don't need for that particular space, and we use that to start a compost pile. So
an ecosystem.
Yes, my brethren. Yes. So all our herbs are planted amongst basils and vegetables and fruits and all of that. So it's not a mono crop kind of vibration. We plant our medicine and our food.
So I want the people to know that not because of the green rush and the industry inside of cannabis, but this is practices and education that has been from time.
Yes, my brethren. It's indigenous knowledge. It's been in the black culture since Kemet. So I just continue.
Well, I'm glad to be here because you're a front runner without the acknowledgement and without the accreditation, but should be.
Well, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie, I give the glory. So, yes, sir.
Yo.
Well, Rasta.
Love. Yo, you get the message. Look for more and more. This is Lester from Cannabis Wiki. Blessed love. Aye.